Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, welcome. Today we're going to be learning how to make this Kiwi crochet turtle. If you'd like to see a tutorial for the other turtles, let me know in the comments below. So let's get started. These are the materials you're going to need. I'm going to be using a 4.5 crochet millimeter hook. You're going to need a stitch marker, a needle, scissors, some green yarn. This is the closest green that I had, so we're using that. Some white yarn and some brown yarn. The weight of this yarn is 6, I believe. And you're also going to need some black yarn. For the eyes, I'm going to be using these sets of eyes that I ordered off of Amazon. I will be linking them in the description box below. And I'm using the biggest size. Now this turtle pattern is actually inspired by the Friendly Fox's crochet turtle pattern. I will be linking it in the description below. I just added a little bit of my own twist to it. Last but not least, we cannot forget our stuffing. Okay, and we are going to make the fins first. All right, so we're gonna start off with a magic ring. I like to make my magic ring a little small. That way I don't have much to pull to close the ring later because this yarn is hard to work with. So go ahead and chain 1 and then place 6 half double crochets into that ring. All right, we've reached the end. Go ahead and slip stitch at the top of that chain 1. Now chain 1. And then you're going to place, let me get some more yarn first here. Then you're gonna place 2 half double crochets into your first stitch. And then you're going to place 2 half double crochets into each stitch in this round. You should finish with a total of 12 stitches. Okay, and you're gonna go ahead and slip stitch at the top of that chain 1. Go ahead and chain 1. And then we're going to crochet both of these ends together using half double crochets. So if you fold it, you can see that these crochets line up with each other. We're going to be crocheting through that. So we already chained 1. And then in the first set of stitches that line up, so into our first one, we're going to place 2 half double crochets in there. So there's 1. And then we're going to place another one. Okay, now you're going to place 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. And then in this last stitch, we're going to place 2 half double crochets. You can go ahead and chain 1 and cut your yarn. You don't have to leave a long tail. Now you just need to make 3 more of these so that we can have a total of 4. Next, we're going to do the head, so start off with a magic ring. Chain 1 to secure the ring, and then place 8 single crochets into the center of the ring. Okay, finished up my 8th stitch. Now I'm just going to place 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Go ahead and grab your stitch marker and mark your spot. This is beginning our 2nd round. Place another single crochet into that same stitch, and then you're just going to place 2 single crochets into each stitch in this round. You should finish with a total of 16 stitches. Okay, now that we've reached the end, go ahead and remove your stitch marker and then place 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Add your stitch marker again, and then into the next stitch you're going to place a single crochet and crease, so 2 single crochets. Then in the next stitch place 1 single crochet, and then into the next stitch place a single crochet and crease, and then just repeat the same pattern going around. So it's 1 2 1 2 1 2. You should finish with a total of 24 single crochets. All right, I have reached the end. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my stitch marker and then place a single crochet in each stitch in this round. This is our 4th round. So for rounds 4 and 5, you're gonna place 1 single crochet into each stitch in the round. You should still finish with a total of 24 single crochets since we are not adding any increases. Alrighty, finished my rows 4 and 5. You're gonna pull this head inside out like I just did here. Remove your stitch marker and go ahead and add a single crochet. We're gonna go ahead and decrease on this round. So place your stitch marker back, and then in the front loops only, of the next 2 loops, insert your hook into the next loop, and then insert your hook into the next loop, front loop only, pull through both of those loops, and then yarn over, pull through. That is 1 single crochet decrease. Place 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then for the next stitch we're going to do a decrease. So insert in the front loops only of the next 2 loops, pull through, and then pull through. So you're just going to repeat the same steps. So here we are, front loops only, pull, insert your hook into both of those loops, pull through 2, and then pull through. And I will meet you guys at the end. And you should have finished with a total of 16 stitches in this round. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my eyes onto this turtle before I continue. So I'm going to be using the biggest eyes like I demonstrated in the first part of the video. We're going to be placing the eyes between rows 4 and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between rows 4 and 5, I'm going to add my first eye. And then place the back on that. And then count 7 stitches from that eye. So like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to insert my other eye, making sure it's between rows 4 and 5. And then add the backing. And there's our little turtle eyes. All right, continuing on, remove your stitch marker. And then working in the front loops only, we're just gonna decrease in every stitch in this round. So don't forget to re-add your stitch marker again. So just adding a decrease in every stitch. So that was our first one, here's our second one. And just continue this till we get to the end. And you should finish with a total of 8 stitches. After this round, you can go ahead and stuff your turtle head if you prefer. It is kind of sturdy, so you may or may not need to stuff it, but I waited till the last minute to stuff mine, so I'm letting you all know now. So it's not difficult for you to stuff your turtle head. Go ahead and stuff your turtle head now. All right, I've reached the end. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my stitch marker, and then you're just gonna place 1 single crochet into each stitch in this round. You should finish with a total of 8 stitches, and that will complete our turtle head. Okay, I reached the end. I'm just gonna go ahead and slip stitch into that stitch that I removed the stitch marker from, chain 1 and cut my yarn. You don't need to leave a long tail. And here I am, stuffing my turtle head. I'm kind of struggling a little bit, but I have skinny fingers, so we're gonna get it in there, y'all. Anyways, this is off topic, but has anyone been having terrible allergies this season? Like, oh my goodness, spring is my favorite season, but it's almost like I can't even enjoy it because there's so much pollen in the air. I just feel like it's getting worse and worse each year. Perhaps it is, but yeah, I'm not one for the colder months, but I think I may just turn into a fall girly.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the bottom of the turtle's body. I'm gonna make a magic ring again. Pull the ring closed a little bit, and then I'm gonna just chain 1 and then place 8 single crochets into the middle of that ring. All right, so we finished our 8 single crochets. Now I'm going to place a single crochet into the top of the first stitch that I did. If I could get it in there, y'all see I'm struggling here. All right, we got it in there, y'all. So there's 1 single crochet. Get your stitch marker to mark your spot. Now I'm gonna place another single crochet into that same stitch. Eventually I'm gonna get there. Okay, there we go. So now you're just gonna place a single crochet increase into each stitch in this round. So you get to the end, should have a total of 16 single crochets. Okay, reach the end, remove your stitch marker, place a single crochet into that stitch, re-add your stitch marker into the next stitch, place 2 single crochets. In the next stitch, place 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, place 2 single crochets or a single crochet increase. In the next stitch, place 1. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Repeat this till you get to the end of the round. You should finish with a total of 24 stitches. All right, we've reached the end. Remove your stitch marker, add 1 single crochet, add your stitch marker. In the next stitch, you're going to add 1 single crochet, and then in the third stitch 2 single crochets. So next stitch 1 single crochet, next stitch 1 single crochet, next stitch 2 single crochets. So the pattern for this round is 1 1 2 1 1 2, and I will meet you guys at the end. You should finish with a total of 32 single crochets. Okay, we've reached the end. Remove your stitch marker. Now I'm going to place 1 single crochet into each stitch in this round, still finishing with a total of 32 single crochets since we didn't add any increases. Now that I've reached the end, I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into that stitch that I removed the stitch marker from, and this is the bottom half of our turtle. Chain 1 and cut off your yarn. You don't need to leave a tail. All right, now on to the kiwi part of the turtle. Gonna make a magic ring. We're gonna repeat the same exact steps that we did for the bottom half of the turtle. So make a magic ring with your white yarn, chain 1, place 8 single crochets into the center of that ring. And pull it close. Yep, see, this is why I hate this yarn, y'all, because this happens. Now there's a bunch of gaps in my yarn, so I'm just gonna cut that off, whatever. And we're gonna try this again. So make a magic ring again. Chain 1 and then place 8 single crochets into the center of that ring. This is why I kind of close it a little bit tight like this, just so I don't have to go through the hassle of ripping my yarn 10 times, because that's happened before where I've ended up like continuously ripping from trying to make a magic ring. Yeah, so I figured this is what works best for me. If you guys have any other ways to prevent that from happening, just let me know in the comments below. Okay, now that I've reached the end, I'm gonna go ahead and place a single crochet into the first stitch I made. And then I'm going to grab my stitch marker to mark my spot. And then I'm going to place another single crochet into that same stitch. And then you're just going to place 2 single crochets into each stitch in this round till you get to the end. You should finish with a total of 16 single crochets. Okay, I'm just finishing up my last single crochet. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my stitch marker and then place a slip stitch into that stitch, chain up 1, and then cut my yarn. Taking my green yarn now, I'm going to make a slip stitch. Insert my hook into that white little circle we made. You can insert it anywhere. Place my green yarn onto the hook and pull it through. Now I'm gonna chain 1. And then I'm going to place 1 single crochet into that stitch. And then into the next stitch, I'm gonna place 2 single crochets. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to place 1 single crochet. And then into the next stitch, I'm going to place 2 single crochets. So the pattern for this round is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You should finish with a total of 24 single crochets. All right, finished all my single crochets in this round. Now I'm going to place a single crochet into the first stitch I made in this round. Place your stitch marker into that stitch, and then into the next stitch you're going to place 1 single crochet. Into the third stitch you're going to place 2 single crochets. And the next stitch 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch 1 single crochet, and then the next stitch 2 single crochets. So the pattern for this round is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So we're going to continue this until we get to the end. You should finish with a total of 32 single crochets. Okay, I finished up my last stitch. Going to remove my stitch marker and place a single crochet into that stitch. Now go ahead and place a stitch marker into the stitch you just made to mark your spot. And then we're just going to place 1 single crochet into each stitch in this round. You're going to do this for this round and for the next round. You should finish with a total of 32 stitches since we did not increase. All right, so here I am at the end. I'm going to place a slip stitch into that stitch where I just removed my stitch marker, chain 1, and cut my yarn. And here's what our Kiwi turtle shell is looking like so far. All right, now we're gonna grab our brown yarn, make a slip knot, then we're going to be working in the front loops only. So insert your hook anywhere on your shell, place your brown yarn on your hook and pull it through. Front loop only. We're going to chain 1. Then we're just going to place 1 single crochet into each stitch in this round, working in the front loops only. Again, you should finish with a total of 32 stitches. Okay, now that I've reached the end, finishing up my last one, I'm going to slip stitch into that beginning stitch, chain 1, and cut your yarn. All right, now we're gonna add the seeds. So taking your black yarn and your needle, I just use my nail to push that through since it is thick. We're gonna be working around the outer edge of the white. So I'm going to insert my needle on the inside of the turtle shell and pull that through. And then I just stick it back through, like so. Going to try to get this little string out of the way. So then skipping like one stitch, I'm gonna insert my needle through again and back in. So I'm just gonna add the seeds, continue adding the seeds all the way around till I get my desired look. Okay, and I'm all done. Now I'm just going to snip my yarn and tie a knot to secure it. Alrighty, so now we're going to start adding the limbs onto the turtle. We are almost done, y'all. So here you see the inner and the outer loop. Okay, we're not gonna work in those. We're gonna work on into these loops on the inside of the shell, the ones that I'm pointing to. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert my hook if I can get it in there. As you can see, these are the loops. They're protruding out. Those are the ones that we're gonna work in. So not the inner or the outer. And then we're gonna take the bottom belly of the turtle and we're gonna work in the outer loops of that, connecting it to the shell. Okay, so I went ahead and inserted my hook into the outer loop and then I inserted it into those inner loops and the shell. We're gonna make a slip knot with some brown yarn and then we're going to place it on the hook and pull it through. Chain one. Now working in the outer loop of the belly and then into that loop on the shell, we're gonna insert our hook, pull through, creating a slip stitch. Now we're gonna insert our hook into the outer loop of the belly only, grab one of your fins. I'm gonna grab a fin, and this is how the fin is going to be placed on the turtle, facing that way, like so. Now I'm gonna place my fin onto the hook, and then I'm going to insert my hook into that loop on the shell. And then I'm gonna pull through the fin and then pull through the belly and then create a slip stitch. Okay. All right, so we're gonna repeat the same steps again just so that we can secure the fin. So go into the outer loop of the shell, of the belly, sorry, and then insert your hook into the fin and then insert your hook into the shell and then pull through the shell, pull through the fin, pull through the belly, creating a slip stitch. Now you're going to insert a slip stitch into the next 7 stitches, working in the outer loop of the belly and that loop I pointed out on the shell. All right, now that we finish our 7 slip stitches, we're going to add another fin in the same direction as we did the first fin. Go ahead and work in the outer loop of the belly of the turtle. Insert your hook, if I can get it in there. There we go. Now grab your fin, and I just place it anywhere into the first stitches on the fin that we did. So like right on the very tip edge right there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and insert it into the shell. Pull through the shell, pull through the fin, and pull through the belly, and pull through the last loop, making a slip stitch. Now repeat again, going back into the fin one more time to make sure it's nice and secure. And then into the shell. Pull through the shell, pull through the fin. Oh, oopsies. Alrighty, pulled through that, and there we have it, 2 fins so far. Go ahead and put a slip stitch, 1 slip stitch into the next stitch, working in the loops I demonstrated in the beginning. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and add the head. So remember with the head we finished with 8 stitches, correct? And this is how I'm going to place my turtle head, with the eyes on the higher side, if that makes any sense. So just like this. Insert your hook into the outer loop of the shell, of the belly, sorry. Get your head, and we're going to sew it just like this. So on the top you have 4 stitches, and then on the bottom you have 4 stitches. You're going to be working through both rows. And I will demonstrate it here. So go ahead and insert your hook into the first 2 stitches. Okay, and then insert your hook into the shell. And then you're gonna pull through the head, pull through the belly, and then pull through the last loop, making a slip stitch. Repeat again, going into the outer loop of the belly, go into the second set of stitches on the head, go through the shell, pull through the shell, pull through the head, pull through the belly, and then pull through. Now, next, go into the next stitch on the belly, go through the head, and go through the shell, pull up a loop, pull through the shell, pull through the head, pull through the belly, and last stitch. Now the last set, we're gonna go through the head, go through the shell, okay, pull through the head, and pull through the belly. And there you have it. You have attached your turtle head. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so now we're going to go into the next stitch, adding a slip stitch. And now we're going to attach our other fin. We are almost done, y'all. So we're gonna attach it in the opposite direction, just like that. So go ahead and go through the belly, attach your fin, and go through the shell. repeating the same steps we did with the other fins. All right, and just to secure it, we're gonna go through the fin one more time for extra measure. So go through your next stitch, go through the fin, and then through the shell, pull through, pull through, pull through, pull through. All right, and that is our third fin attached. Now you're going to place a slip stitch in the next 7 stitches. All right, finishing up my last stitch, my 7th stitch, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and stuff my turtle belly. I like to make sure my turtles are nice and plump, so I'm gonna put a generous amount of stuffing inside. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our last fin. So just repeat the same exact steps we did with the others. Going in through the belly, go in through the edge of the fin, then go in through the shell. All right, and just finish up with your last slip stitch on the fin. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch all the way to the end. So I had a total of 2 more stitches remaining. You may have more or less. If you do, it's not a big deal. Just slip stitch till you get to the end. Okay, and then I'm gonna slip stitch into the beginning stitch that we started. Chain 1 and cut your yarn. And we have completed our turtle. I'm gonna go weave in my ends and I'll be right back. And here's the finished product. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, follow me on my social media platforms as well. If you have any questions or concerns on this tutorial, just leave a comment below so that I can help you. Peace be, y'all. Bye.